What's good, everybody? This is your boy, Big Game James, man. I'm here with my guy, Big Guy Tone, man. How you living, big bro?
Man, what's up, big dog? Man, I can't complain, brother. I can't complain at all, man. I'm officially a Sixers fan, man. So all y'all Sixers fans, hopefully y'all open me with just open arms. You know what I'm saying? I'm on over in Philly, man.
Yeah, that whole Philly stuff was just absolutely fucking crazy, man. So just everything with just that whole thing, man, where I remember some of the tweets and like some of the stuff where LeBron was just talking about like, hey, it's gonna be like a hometown thing, man. I just wanted to go and just, live out, my last few days inside of the NBA territory,
hmm
inside of a comfortable place. But then you go to a motherfucking place like Philly and that shit shot the shit out of me too, big dog.
Man, shocked the whole world, man. But it's kind of crazy because just like you said, though, Philly and their fans, man. Philly has some fans and they love their team, so it's definitely going to be interesting. Hopefully, these 2 years, my guy can bring Philly a championship. Um, but yeah, man, and it was the crazy part is about it all. I was actually in Philadelphia as the news dropped about Braun coming to Philly. It was wild. Like um, I felt like, and I'm not gonna lie, I also felt like it was like a historic day. You know what I'm saying? Just like when he made that decision to go to Miami was like one of them days. Like, damn, this was a crazy day in like NBA history. I kind of felt like the same thing with this. I know me personally, I'll never forget it. I was at took my daughter to Sesame Place amusement park in Philadelphia. Family outing. Took the fam out there, and I check my phone. I look at my phone. We on the road. I'm like, oh shit, fucking LeBron going to Philly. And then I'm like, oh shit, I'm in Philly. So that shit was wild too, like just embracing that. But yeah, man, it's definitely gonna be interesting to see how things go these next two seasons, man.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like it's going to be such an adjustment process for everybody inside of the NBA of
Big
just getting
Sixers.
used to LeBron inside of a Sixers jersey and stuff like that. And kind of just prompted me, man, just to think about, some of the other, I guess, jersey swaps or just some of the more surprising, I guess, free agent signings. I feel like that would be like top three for me. Definitely when I saw Peyton Manning inside of a Broncos uniform, that definitely shocked the hell out of me. But other
hmm
than like Peyton Manning for me, do you have any other type of, I guess, when players have signed somewhere else that you just didn't see it coming?
Man, shit. Brett Favre leaving the Packers
Yeah,
and going to Minnesota. Man,
yeah, man.
that was when Brett Favre could throw 5 touchdowns and 5 interceptions. Man, but yeah, man, I feel like that's one of the ones. Like I don't know, I just felt like even though Brett Favre wasn't a Packer his entire career because he started off in Atlanta with the Falcons, but just it's just like when players are like a staple of a team. You know what I'm saying? There's like certain players that are like the staples. So when you think about a team, you think about these players, and I kind of felt like Brett Favre was is one of those players that when you think about Green Bay, the Green Bay Packers, and of course their illustrious history, you think about one of the players that you think about is Brett Favre. Just like shit with Cleveland, the Cleveland Cavaliers, one of the first people you're going to think about is like LeBron James. So just to kind of see one of them, type of players, transition to another team is like, oh shit. It's just like I mean, hold on, let me knock on wood or something. If Lamar Jackson is on another team, like I'm
Ooh,
so used to seeing him on the Ravens that like it would be wild to see him on another team. And I'm not gonna lie, I would be hurt if I see him on another team. Not my dog, man. Not my dog.
yeah, man. I just feel like certain players, man, like their jerseys are just iconic inside of the teams that they play for, the cities that they play for. Such big moments. and it just doesn't compute the same way. Like I would not be able to imagine Kobe Bryant inside of like a Houston Rockets jersey, or
Oh yeah.
someone like Dirk Nowitzki inside of a Milwaukee's Bucks jersey.
Hey
So
man.
it's just one of those ones where it's just like, man, like seeing LeBron inside of a 76 jersey, it's definitely something, just to be amazed at. But also, man, just all of the corresponding moves that happened after LeBron finally signed, like Draymond Green finally signing his contract with the Warriors. And, I feel
Hmm.
like since that big cog was finally, I guess, alleviated, where like they finally just dealt, with big money right there. Everybody was just wondering, where LeBron was going to go and how these teams was going to go and allocate some of their finances. It's finally good, man. Where like now they have, some type of, I guess they have some type of solidity, or it's kind of solidified where like now they don't have to go and like worry about like, oh yeah, how much LeBron is going to be off of the books, since he took that little veteran minimum and everything like that. But
Hmm.
as far as his icon and just jersey wise, like I feel like that jersey will be worth so much money one day, especially that last game that he plays inside of a 76 jersey.
Oh my gosh. You got to easily think like, first of all, I'll say this. I feel like that last jersey that he ever wears in the game easily can go for, man. I'm thinking in the range of 250 to a mil, because it's crazy. I just seen a report that said, yo, they so you know how like back in the day, I'm gonna break this story down for you. You know how like back in the day, right? When like we first learned how to write our signature, right? Whatever grade that was in, so so a lot of times when we first learned how to do it, you know what I'm saying, or whatever, grade that we were in when we were kind of practicing on writing our cursive, a lot of times you'll be like, just writing, your signature, like, man, let me see what my signature be like. So I don't even know how they got it, but they got a balled up piece of piece of paper that LeBron James, I think he was in high school, but he was just scribbling his signature on it, balled it up, threw it in the trash. They was currently selling it, and I believe it just sold. I'm not sure on the number, so don't quote me on the number because I'm not 100% sure, but it just sold for some thousands. And I'm like, yo, who the fuck had this piece of paper for this long? LeBron been in the league for fucking 20 plus years. That means whoever had this piece of paper, LeBron James and him writing his signatures in class for 20 plus years, just waiting. I'm like, yo, it's crazy. So to even think about his jersey, that number, you can only guess, man, what that'll be worth. The last one, game one, I don't even know if he would get that up. That might be too sentimental. But if that's something that he do get or something that somebody do want, man, that's gonna be worth some money. But man, these people, man, they can find a way to get anything. I remember, I think it was like a couple Super Bowls ago, somebody went in the locker room and stole a jersey, stole Tom Brady jersey, if I'm not mistaken. Oh, it was somebody up there. I'm like, damn, and they got him. Where the fuck they get him? Should be crazy, big dog.
Yeah, man, I feel like people's fandom kind of I guess teeters on just being obsessive, just to
Hmm.
the point where like these are just ordinary people and shit like that. And like even though LeBron is so talented, and like you see all of these great athletes and shit like that, and what people will go and pay for something that I know that I'm not willing to even pay like a tenth of that, right?
Right.
Because like I think one of the things that came out earlier this week, or maybe like 2 or 3 days ago, was the Shohei Otani card that they found inside of one of those packs, right? So basically, somebody found one of those baseball cards inside of one of those baseball card packs, and the card was worth $11 million.
Oh shit.
You know what I mean? And it was one of those rare one of one cards and stuff like that. So now also didn't realize that like TikTok also has like a lot of these pages and stuff like that where like people go out there and then they have like these TikTok lives where they're just opening up these cards and stuff like that, and basically that's what happened. It was on a TikTok live, I believe, and then he opened it up and then it was a Shohei Otani card, and I want to know what that feels like, just knowing right then and there
What
like your
the
life just
fuck?
changed.
Literally.
Like that it's going to be worth a couple thousands, a couple bands. I would guess he did not anticipate that being worth $11 million.
Damn. Did he get the money?
I believe that they just sold it and stuff like that, so I think that he got his money. So that's a pretty damn good
Wow.
payday.
Wow. I've never heard that's some shit off a movie. That is some shit literally off a movie, bro.
Would you pay? All right, so let's say, man, that you have millions and millions of dollars, or you're one of these fans. How much would you pay for your favorite athlete's trading card?
A card? I think if it all depends on how much money I make. Cause I feel like certain things at certain times also you are also buying an investment. You know
True.
what I'm saying? So it's like, all right, if I bought it and um, let's just say I bought because LeBron James or Lamar Jackson, one of my, they're both like my top athletes or whatever. So for a call for them, if I bought it, but I'm also thinking about, and I mean, God forbid, but a lot of times when people pass away, the value of something that they had also increases as well. So, it's going to be worth something. Like, I think if I'm a millionaire, like, just kind of like, I'll pay. I'm not sure what a car goes for, but you just said one went for 11 million. I don't know, man. I would have to be getting some crazy money for me to spend 11 million on one card. Like, I would have to be making a comfortable 100 or comfortable 75. I mean, because if you think about it, whatever that card is worth is going to be probably worth two times or twice as much when whenever your favorite player, whatever that player is, when whoever that player is passes away. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, man, I would say me personally, if I'm like up and like a millionaire, maybe 1 to 2 million. Like but I gotta be getting it. As far as me right now and me thinking about that and like one of my favorite players' cards, I don't know, cause I feel like that should be like gambling, and I don't be doing no too much gambling, yo. Cause I don't like when I lose my money. Fuck that,
I feel the same way, big dog. And like it just
man.
prompted me just to go and just look it up too, man. Just like what was the most expensive card ever sold? And I have it up right here too, man. And it looks like it was a tie too, man. It looks like a LeBron and Kobe logo man patched autograph card, which is really
Mm,
surprising, right? So they have both of the patches and stuff on there. That one was basically $13 million for that.
God
So
damn, for one
eh,
card,
for one card, man, and it looks like it's a LeBron James and Kobe Bryant dual logo man, and it looks like it just sold last year too. So um
damn.
and this is kind of surprising for me, you know, and the reason why it's very surprising is just that you know how many billionaires, you know, you see how many millionaires, you know, that are coming out and stuff like that. I actually expected the number to be a lot higher. So, you know,
For
when you
real?
have like some of
Shit.
these really famous paintings and stuff like that that fetch over, you know, 40 and 50 million, and you know, some of these paintings are upwards of 100 million plus, right? I would expect, you know, like some of these really, really prestigious trading cards to be really, really expensive. So when I saw that it was only 12.9, only 12.9 million,
Only is
and
crazy.
I'm posing this question as if I'm already a billionaire and money isn't an issue. I would think that like, hey, somebody would have spent like 20 or 25 million on like a rare card, but yeah, man, if I got mad millions, like you said, you know, this is such an investment. I'm looking at this motherfucker. I'm just spinning up there like, yo, I paid 12 point something for it. I know that this sport is just going to evolve even more. So
Right.
this 12 point something million right now, give it like 5 or 10 years after they have, you know, some of these creative collective bargaining agreements and like all of this other different type of stuff, it just increases the value for like some of the other memorabilia that was before some of those collective bargaining agreements. So
Yeah.
it's going to be really interesting, man. You know what I mean? Like i I see it like this, man. Like 13 million, that's not even a lot. If I'm a billionaire, like I'm trying to flip that shit. I'm trying to go and make at least 25 million if I'm paying 13, or you know,
Yeah.
I'm trying to at least double that shit back. But yeah, man, if I'm just looking at it as just somebody right now with my current funds, and like if I'm barely a millionaire or barely making like 50 million, I'm not even paying all of that just for it. So if I have
Man,
a
it
lot of
gotta
money, fuck
be.
yes. But if I
Yeah, you
don't,
gotta you
ain't no
gotta
way in
have that
hell
type
I'm
of
paying
money.
that money
You
for it.
gotta have that type of fucking money to be like, huh, 13 mil? Write him a check, babe. Write him a check, Susan. His motherfucking assistant. Write that check. Do-do-do-do-do-do. Zip. Send it right on over. All right, the card is yours. You got to have fuck you money. God damn.
Yeah, man.
My
Like you
thing
definitely have
about
to have
it is,
money.
where the fuck are you gonna keep it at? You got to keep that boxed up.
Right. You got to keep it boxed up, and like you also got to like how do you keep that inside of mint conditions when like when it's actually time to go up there and to sell it? And my thing would be like some of these people with like
Mm,
furs and minks, like you have to put that shit in like a freezer or some shit like that during like the summer
mm.
times, so that that shit doesn't get all decrepit. Like what type of storage and handling fees do you have for like really really high
Man,
value type of cards and stuff like that, man? It would be my question.
that's something for me to get into. I ain't gonna hold you. I need to get into something like that. Cause if you gotta think, if a motherfucker just paid 13 million for the card, you know they gonna pay some money, some good money to have somebody keep it up. Unless they, unless it might be like a special box, a little card box. But as far as somebody actually like putting the work in and like shining and dusting and man, shit, you might make some good money. This shit worth 13 mil to the point where you fuck around got to get an insurance on that. You got to get it insured.
Exactly, man.
Like, for real. Cause that
Yeah,
shit ain't
man,
no joke.
and like I just want to know, you know, just as far as just like assets wise and stuff like that, like you know, like w- you know, since you talked about insurance and stuff like that, like how much did that shit like increase, you know, like a motherfucker's net worth and shit like that? Like it's
All
just so
right.
many, I guess, questions that I have just about that type of shit, man, that like I probably will never be able to answer unless like I get that
Hey,
type of money,
man.
man.
Hey,
For
man.
real.
Don't never say never, man. Never
Right, man.
say
It's
never,
whatever,
man.
man.
Never say
But
never, man.
yeah.
You never know,
All right,
man.
I got one more question for you, though. Just you know, just for this whole LeBron thing. With LeBron going to to Philadelphia, does that destroy his opportunity to be considered one of the greatest of all time?
To be honest, big dog, you know I'm a Brown fan, as we all know. I feel like, bro, whatever he does, bro, he's still going to get criticized. They're still going to hate on him. You know what I'm saying? So it's like right now, you just got to do what you want to do, and obviously something specifically sparked his mind and his interest, and he wanted to go to Philly. Can I blame the man? No. This shit just like fucking yo. He living a life right now like you playing on a game, and you're a creative player. You feel me? You looking at the teams, you looking at the roster, the city, like, you playing 2K or you playing Madden. You know what I'm saying? And you looking at like, damn, you know, where my player gonna shine at? Or where he gonna do the best at? And LeBron was just like, fuck it, I'm going to Philly. I feel like, at the end of the day, bro, this is one of, if not the, greatest basketball players that ever touched a basketball. Definitely one of, whoever is the best, that's always debatable. But, at the end of the day, bro, people can say what they want to say. And, the LeBron versus, you know, Mike, the LeBron versus Kobe, like, look, at the end of the day, he's up there. You feel me? Like, so I'm excited just to continue to see him playing, especially at this, age, and also just like it's not the fact that like Braun is also like just Braun. It's just like, yo, this dude like in his 40s, damn near, putting up 20. It's the numbers. He ain't putting up, 5 points. It's like, yeah, shit dwindling down for him. You know, this motherfucker down there scoring 20. So it's like, come on, man. What more can we say? What more can you say about that? Bro, you can literally like write a book about some shit like this. This is a Disney movie we watching right now. This is some shit you see on a Disney movie. He doing this shit in real life, man.
Yeah, he really is, man.
Like for real.
Yeah, man. I think one of the nuances that really does get annoyed just about this whole process and just about the longevity about LeBron's career. It's just the lack of injuries, the lack of season engine
Man.
injuries, the lack of those injuries that take him out of those really high pressure moments and stuff like that, where like he was reliable, he was dependable, he was, we were blessed to have somebody like Cal Ripken,
Yeah.
growing up, Mr. Iron Man, missing consistency and stuff like that. And I feel like we don't take that um, as a bigger deal as what it should be, right?
Yeah.
And you also look at somebody like Mikal Bridges with the Knicks. I believe that
Hmm.
he has a record right now of like not missing any games or something like that. Like he's Mr. Consistency. So that's one of the things about LeBron, But just getting back to the question about if LeBron is out of the go talk, I feel like you said, it all depends on who you ask, and I feel like when you're talking about some of the greatest of all times, I feel like people's understanding of it is so different, and it's so much where like you're comparing apples to oranges rather than just appreciating the era and just appreciating that like hey you know, the greats are going to be great inside of their areas based off of what they have to compete against. So
Yeah.
you can't compare Larry Bird against like some of the players that are playing right now because Larry Bird didn't play against them. But I
Yep.
still think Larry Bird would still drop motherfucking 35, 40 points on some of the best players out here today without
Yeah.
any type of hesitation, right?
Yeah.
But I think one of the things about LeBron, man, is just that they're always going to go and look at his frequent flyer miles as far as just
Hmm.
like how many times he has gone to so many different teams. and they're always going to compare that to Michael Jordan. They're always going to compare that to Tom Brady. They're always going to compare that to Wayne Gretzky. Some
Yep.
of the greatest sports athletes that we have, where like they were they wasn't stagnant, but they were solidified inside of their cities, and they maybe made one or two changes inside of their career. But with just that frequent fluctuation that LeBron has had throughout his career, I feel like that is one of the things that people will hold on to rather than just the collective greatness of his whole cumulative career.
And my thing about that is, bro, I'm like, yo, for all these people who talk shit about, man, this man went from team to team. Yo, do y'all eat at the same restaurant every day? No, you would get tired. And this is no, not on people who would eat at the same restaurant every day. Cool, that's you, right? But for these other people who, you know, go to the various restaurants and try out different things, it's the same thing as my man Brian. It's just him. It's literally him, like going to, let's just say, right, a corporation has, different various, buildings and offices in different cities and states, right? That's just like, somebody going from, somebody who was worked their way up in the ranks in Cleveland. You know what I'm saying? Did that time in Cleveland. Oh, it's another opportunity down there in Miami. Let me hit that. See what that's about. I've been you feel me, Cleveland my whole life. Let me see what that's about. Wow, go down to Miami. Get the time in down Miami. You see now, it's an opportunity in LA. Oh man, my job, man, they trying to ship me out to LA. Yeah, I mean, they're gonna show me some love out there. It's, beautiful, beautiful city, beautiful environment. Fuck, let me go. Do your time out LA. Now, it's in the latter part of your career. You done did your time in these various cities, these various states. You know what I'm saying? You got your experience, right? You on your way out, your last couple of years, you're like, man, let me see what city, you know what I'm saying, where, I haven't been yet. Let me just try something new. You know what I'm saying? It's my last, couple of years in my career. Let me try out, Philly. So it's just like that. So I don't get how people can be like so on top of, Braun. Oh, he done moved all these times, and he still only got these amount of championships. He still got rings, bruh. Every team he touched, he got a ring. Every team he was on, he brought them a championship. So it's like, you know what I'm saying? Like, what else can we say? What else can we say, man?
Yeah, it isn't too much that you can say, just about that type of greatness. But then again, you know what? If you are great, they will go and find a way just to go and just to, try to poke holes at it. They'll go up there and say, well, why didn't you go and do this? I think one of the biggest arguments that you have just about the GOAT type of conversations is just the finals record and stuff like that. And, it's just one of these type of things where like just appreciating just the style of play and just
Yep,
how much that he moved the game forward the same way how Steph moved the game forward. You just can't take that lightly. But like you said, man, everybody has an opinion. Those people that didn't like LeBron when he first got into the league, they probably still don't like LeBron when
of
he's about to
course
leave the
not.
league. So I wouldn't. I'm not mad just about any of the comparisons, any of the critiques. It's kind of just like it's low hanging fruit. Some of the critiques that they have for Braun.
Man, it's like but if you also think about it, bro, the greatest always get hated on. It's people who love Jordan, but it's people who hated his ass. people who love Kobe, but there's also people who hated his ass. So it's like same thing with Brown, man. Same thing with these great players, man. It's going you're gonna have people who ride for you, and you also gonna have people who hate on you. You know what I'm saying? And that's hey, if you got haters, that means you're doing something right. That's what they always say, right?
Ain't that the fucking truth, man? If you doing something right, man, there will be a nigga that
That will
don't
be,
know
man.
exactly what you're doing. They will always just be asking real stupid ass questions.
Man,
You know what I
it will
mean? Just
always be
stupid
a
ass
hater, man.
observations.
They don't
Always,
know
man.
everything you went through to get you where you are and your success, but they still find a way to hate on you, and they have no clue what you've been through to even make it to that position and that spot. It's like blind hating, like
It is.
literally, yeah, literally blind hating. Like you got a blindfold on. You just point your finger out. Oh, I'ma hate on him. I don't know nothing. I don't see nothing. You know what I'm saying? I see what I want to see, or I hear what I want to hear, and you gonna still find a way to hate on that person. Which is, I mean, it's kind of unfortunate the world that we kind of live in. Some people honestly just do that. You know what I'm saying? Just try to find a way to spread that like negativity and that hate. But hey, as we say, man, shit, they hate you doing something right.
That's it, man. And it's really unfortunate just because those same people that are hating are not even just looking at the true complete body of work. And I think one of the great things that I really like about LeBron is just that the body of work. And like I'm not saying that like I'm the biggest LeBron James fan out there, but I am saying that like if you look at the body of work of just like the athletes around him got better, the people around
Yep.
him got significantly better. So I guess one of the questions that I'll pose to you is with him going to the 76ers, who is poised just to benefit the most from him being there?
To be honest, my personal, I'm thinking like Jalen Brown. I think Jalen Brown, with him already winning a championship and being around a LeBron who knows what it takes to continuously do everything that they can to be one of the best players in the league. And I feel like Jalen Brown is one of those players who's striving to be one of those top players ever, as we just seen within this past year, as far as just him just proving himself. Like, look, like, I know Tatum nice. I know Tatum, is your favorite, but shit, I'm here. I'm here. I'm here to, yeah, like I'm here to put in the work. I'm here to show y'all, like, yeah, I'm one of the best players in the league. You know what I'm saying? I didn't earn the championship. They tried to do me wrong for the Olympics. I'm a show 'em. And Jalen Brown showed them, and I feel like now, when he's coming from a team in the organization where he was like the leader, and now you get to be around another great leader, one of the greats. You know what I'm saying? Who knows the conversation that they're going to have within these next 2 years to be able to continue to build Jalen Brown so that once LeBron goes, shit, it might be Jalen Brown league. Because I mean, this past season he had a stretch, man. It was like he might be the MVP of this league. This motherfucker might be the MVP of this league, bro. So, me personally, I feel like Jalen Brown is the person who I would say is going to definitely gain the most with playing with LeBron on the Sixers team.
Yeah, man, that's a great pick. That's a an awesome pick, man. Yeah, Jalen Brown, man, he's such a dog, man. And, man, when you just look at this 76ers roster right now, man, it's stacked, right? I think for me, man, when I'm looking at this roster, one name really stands out to me is VJ Edgecombe. I
Mm,
feel like VJ Edgecombe may be the one that really benefits the most from LeBron being there. Of just like, hey, his rookie year, man, VJ really, really impressed. Like
yep.
VJ really, really showed up, showed out. Even summer league, man, he was up there showing up and showing out. I feel like this team doesn't know how to win. right? And now
Hmm.
VJ not only has Jalen Brown, but now he also has somebody like LeBron that's right there that's going to go and teach him how to go and win. And
Yeah.
for me, VJ reminds me so much of Jimmy freaking Butler. It
Mm.
is insane. So when I go up there and I see, the intangibles, when I see, just the mindset, or I also see the way that he was playing inside of the playoffs and how beneficial it would have been for him just to knock down some of them shots. And I'm not blaming or doing anything like that, but it's
Hmm.
just more so just like when you look at some of those runs and some of the ways that the Sixers lost inside of the playoffs. It wasn't because Paul George wasn't showing up. Paul George is going to be Paul George in the playoffs, but VJ Edgecombe has the opportunity to go and just to be one of the best, at least for like the next 5 or 6 years, right? So I
Yeah,
feel like we
definitely.
have 1 or 2 years with LeBron, and you still don't know, who else may still be added on to this team. I feel like they'll still add on a few veterans right before training camp, right before the season start and stuff like that. So I feel like the 76ers' biggest problem has been they don't know how to go and win during the playoffs. And I think one of the things for LeBron for these last few seasons is just like we just need to make it to the playoffs so that we can have a good seed. And the
Hmm.
problem with the Lakers is just that they've always got into the playoffs as like a lower seed. So now he can come inside of this Eastern Conference, not be that guy that has to go up there and put up 20, 7-7. He can go up there and, have those moments when the team needs it, but he can really propel VJ. And just my understanding of it, I feel like VJ would be a much better student of the game than Luka Doncic was for him when he was with the Lakers.
Mm. Damn, that's real. That's real, bro. That's definitely real. Yeah, man, it's definitely gonna be interesting just to kind of see him, progress in his game as well. Because as we've seen, man, he has a lot of potential. Um, you know, so with this, upcoming season, he's learned so much with playing this first season that I feel like, the only thing that we can only see is just him progress, which, hey, the sky's the limit, man. You know what I'm saying? Some certain players, man, they come in that second year, man, and take over. As we seen, as I believe with Kawhi Leonard, his second year with the Spurs, he won a championship. You know, had a good first season, came back the second season, I believe, if I'm not mistaken. Um, Came back that second year and had a spectacular season with the Spurs. Won a championship. If I'm not mistaken, Tim Duncan retired. Maybe it's that season or the next season, but it's like that possibility is kind of that same situation is here now. Who knows, man? Braun here for 2 years. If he win a championship on this second year, he might be done. Hang it up. What else am I playing for? Because at that point, only other thing I'm playing for is like me just trying to be in the league when my youngest son get out of college. So, man, we gonna see, man. Shout out to my man Brian.
Shout out to that guy, man. That guy has been black excellence since he has gotten into the league and everything like that, man. So just shout out to him, man. So
No, for real.
definitely, man. Much love to Braun, man. Hopefully, this first season, with Philly will be a historic one. So much respect to him, man. So, man, when I'm looking at football, though, man, I'm really excited, man. Training camp has been starting. I know over here, man, for the Raiders, it's been a lot of talk just about Fernando Mendoza. It's been a lot of talk, just about Clint Kubiak. It's been a lot of talk, just about the new regime and stuff out here, man. But I know that it has to be exciting back at home, man. The Ravens training camp and everything like that. These Ravens are really looking good this season, right?
Man, and the crazy part is I don't want to say this like cause I feel like, bro, these past couple of seasons, man, I feel like this is our year, and I felt like just these past couple of years. I know I've been wrong, but I will say, man, I feel like this year is one of them years, man. We got a new coach. You know what I'm saying? We got new players on the team, new vibes, new energy. You know what I'm saying? Like I felt like this is what we needed to kind of turn that street. We pulling up. You know what I'm saying? It's time for us to bust that right. So I feel like, you know, this is definitely going to be a very important time for the Ravens organization because, a few things are going on, just kind of this off season as far as, just people talking about, is Zay Flowers the number one? Um, you know, will Bateman have a comeback season as people kind of feel like he's been kind of on a decline? You know, us having a brand new center, as we know, we lost a lot of key pieces this past off season. Um, you know, us, adding value in DB room, so that hopefully our defense can turn back up. Added a safety so that we can allow Kyle Hamilton to be the roaming range of the Ravens, just kind of roam around, be free, be you, be unique. So man, we gonna see, man. I feel like this is going to be definitely a good season for us. I know it's a few games on the schedule that I'm looking to attend, but I feel like this training camp, man, has been very well needed for this team, as well as just this organization as we, just open up a new door in our chapter in our organization. It's a new door open in our organization chapter. You know what I'm saying? We got a new head coach, new regime. So, we gonna see what happens, man. I definitely feel like this is definitely gonna be a good season for the Ravens, man. What's going on with your Raiders?
The
The
Raiders.
Raiders.
The Raiders. Yeah, man. The Raiders are dog ass right now, and don't
Damn.
even with everything else that they added, they still dog ass, right? But I
Damn.
think one of the good things is just hope and just good coaching. So they have much better coaching. I feel like the upper management is more aligned than what they were before. But one of the things that I really like just about this Ravens organization right now is just all of all of the signs are pointing towards them. If you look at
Hmm.
one of the stats that I got up right now is some of the stats from last season and some of the projections for this upcoming season right now. So other than Buffalo and other than the LA Rams, um, the Ravens have the third highest percentage just to win the Super Bowl.
Okay.
Actually, inside of the AFC, they have the best percentage just to get the top seed. Definitely winning the division kind of looks like a done deal just for the Ravens this season. So if they're looking at it, a lot of these bettors are looking at the Ravens getting at least 11 wins, especially inside of this division that
Hey,
has
come on, man.
lost so much good talent. So Cleveland is going to be ass.
Yeah.
Pittsburgh is most likely going to be ass as well too. So I really feel like the only viable team inside of this AFC North right now will be the
The
Cincinnati Bengals, but
Bengals.
you
The
still don't know
Bengals.
about the Cincinnati Bengals as well too.
Yeah, still
So
never
if
know
I'm
with
really
them.
looking at it, man, it's kind of just like, and we say this shit every year. This is the year. If they want to go and do this, even though every single year that they want to go and just to get, just to the top of that mountain, I feel
Right.
like this is really, really the year because you really don't know what Kansas City is going to be post Patrick Mahomes coming off a torn ACL.
Yeah.
I really don't believe inside of the Chargers the same way where like Justin Herbert has Justin Herbert has definitely dazzled, but when he's not playing his best, he
Mm.
looks he
Yeah, he
he
looks
he just
bad
does not look
sometimes.
like a top
Yeah.
10 quarterback that can take him to at least like an AFC championship for me.
Yeah.
So
Looks
that
flustered.
AFC West looks pretty soft to me. AFC South, it's just up in the air. I really feel like Houston and Jacksonville are the two best teams inside of that one. So for me, Buffalo. Baltimore and maybe the Chargers are the best. I don't believe in Denver either. I feel like Denver
Oh
found a
wow.
way just to go and win last season. I don't believe inside of Bo Nix. I don't believe inside of Sean Payton. I really feel like they just
Wow.
lucked into some shit. Patriots last year as well too. They really lucked into some shit as well too. So for
Damn.
me, when I'm looking at it, and I'm just like, man, yo, Ravens, this is your opportunity this
This
time.
is
Just
it.
because if you pull up, you know, if you pull up the NFC and you look at some of the odds and stuff like that, the only real viable Super Bowl, I guess, contender that the betters are really looking at right now are just the Rams. The Rams
Oh
are the only one that
yeah.
has a double digit opportunity just to win the Super Bowl, and they
Yeah.
are technically the Super Bowl favorites right now. But you really don't know with this NFC. The NFC, in my
Hmm.
opinion, is a little bit weaker than the AFC this year. So for me, the Ravens have the opportunity to not only get to the AFC Championship, but to also win the Super Bowl. But those Raiders do have an opportunity to be a spoiler. They may have an opportunity
Hey
to
man.
maybe win 6 to 8 games, but they need a lot of things going right for them just to even be comparable to
Hey,
win 5 games this year.
hey, that'll be a turn. Cause how many games they won last season? Three. I forgot how many games that they won last year. But at the end of the day, fucking hey, anything would be better than that. Shit, let's give it six. Still not above 500, but damn. Did we say we can double? We doubled the wins?
I will say one thing, bro. I don't think a lot of people, at least nationally, are talking about this of a destination. I will look at Vita Vea. I feel like
Mm,
this, man. Look, Ravens already didn't get who they wanted to go and get inside of Max Crosby, right? They still got what Trey Hendrickson's son or some shit
hmm.
like that. I never get his fucking last name right, right? But I really feel like Vita Vea could possibly be one of those additions that the Ravens could add on to that line. And can you just imagine you add on Vita Vea to that one, man? Like Roquan Smith is going to have one of the best seasons ever if you add on Vita Vea, even though like he's already great and shit like that. I feel like I haven't heard a lot of people, at least nationally, talk about a really good place for Vita Vea just to be traded to could be the Baltimore Ravens.
And I would say that's the only thing that I think that might not happen. Uh, is just because of Matabike coming back, and I'm not sure how that would align with that. But I won't put it past it because with Matabike coming back, it looks like he is coming back full strength. But at the same time, this is that has been a significant amount of time that he has been out. So I'm sure, they aren't going to try and, go balls to the walls, pause with, you know, Matabike and him being in for, a lot, especially early in the season. Now later in the season, it's a different story, but these first couple of games, I just feel like, they won't have him in there for that, long as far as just them just trying to get him acclimated into being back in football, especially at full speed. Like, yeah, bro, practice is different speeds, and sometimes you can get up to like full speed, but practice full speed and game full speed is two different things, brother. Two
Oh yeah,
different
one
things.
hundred and fifty. Yeah, 150%. I agree with you. And like, here's my thing, man. With the Ravens, when they traded for Max Crosby, they already had thought Matabuke was going to come back this season.
Oh wow.
So they had already traded with the thought that like, hey, he was going to be off of what the Pope list.
Mm-hmm.
So they had already anticipated him being back this season, in
Wow.
addition to Max Crosby and Trey. So can you
Damn.
imagine if you still add on somebody with the credentials that Vita Vea has?
Hey
And then you
man,
put that scheme up there with Kyle Hamilton, like you said, he can go up there and he can just do whatever. He is such a general out there. You got Roquan Smith out there. He can just do whatever, man. Like I don't know, man. Like
hey
I've seen
man,
crazier things, and honestly, I wouldn't have thought that the Ravens would have pulled the trigger on trading for Max Crosby, but they did. And hey, man, look, training camp is coming up. As long as you don't let somebody like the Steelers, find a way just to go and sign him, and then he's onto a team that doesn't have the same type of bright future that the Ravens have.
right?
Or I could see him signing with like the Bengals because the Bengals just lost Trey. So
Yeah,
either way, man, I really feel like the Ravens don't need him, but if you add him on,
but
that's
shit,
just going
will
to
we
just
take
make
him?
everybody else on that defense's job a
Man,
lot easier.
everybody, everybody, literally from position lines to upper management, and I'm just talking about you know the D line coach, the linebacker coach, the DB coach, because the thing about it is just like when one portion of the whatever defense offense is like doing so good, it makes just like you said everybody else job easier. So not only does that, not only does it do that for the players, it also does it for the coaches as well. You know what I'm saying? Because if I know now, like, all right, if I coach linebackers and I know I have, you know, um, a great D line or I have great DBs, now that allows me to kind of do some things that I wouldn't normally do or wouldn't normally try because I know that this other portion of the defense also has my back as well. You know what I'm saying? So now it's like, all right, well, fuck it. I'm gonna send a linebacker blitz because I know our D line is, mobile enough to get to the quarterback or mobile enough to one of them is, mobile enough to get back in coverage. Or, you know what I'm saying? I'm gonna blitz the linebacker knowing that, my safeties are always not going to allow anything or anyone to get, behind them in coverage. So man, it makes everything easier, man.
Hell yeah, it does, man. It just makes everything easier. It makes and like you said, it makes all of the position players' job easier. It makes all of the coaching, a lot simpler and stuff like that. And it just unlocks everybody's full capacity. If I have to compensate for somebody just because I know that there's going to be a little bit of spillage from them,
Hmm.
so I have to be mindful of that. Especially if you're playing zone, especially if I have to go and hand off one of my if I have to hand off parts of my zone, but like I know that like, hey, I have to also compensate just because like my front isn't getting that much pressure. Like I'm gonna be stressed. But now, since you have all of those necessary pieces and stuff like that, it should just run a lot smoother. Um, yeah, man, it's just when I was just thinking about like where Vita Vea should go, I was just like, man, Ravens would be an awesome spot for him. It would be an awesome opportunity for him. He would be
Man,
able to go and just be inside of a scheme where he can just
that
eat.
would.
He can just eat. He don't have to worry about going back out there in coverage. I just need you. Just get to the QB. That's all that you're here for. And they will be able and they will be willing to go and give him that extension that
Stop the run,
Tampa
clog them
Bay isn't
lanes.
paying. Tampa Bay isn't paying their quarterback. They're not paying some of their true top tier players. I mean, this is the same organization that let Mike Evans go. You know what I mean? So, when you see certain type of things like this
Man, they on
and,
some bull
it's kind
job,
of just like,
man.
well, these are game changers. You need to go up there and get that game changer. But for me, man, and this would probably be one of the last topics, they have some of the MVP odds up already, man. And I was looking at the MVP odds earlier today, man, and this is DraftKings right here. And when I'm looking at it, man, Josh Allen, naturally right now, he's the favorite just to go and win regular season MVP. And regular season MVP future odds close on September the 12th. I believe that's
Okay.
one of the first games of football or something like that, September the 12th at 5 p.m. So for all of the future bets, you can go and get it in right before that time. But Josh Allen is the favorite. Next is Lamar Jackson. Then you got Joe Burrow. So man, when I'm looking at it, man, there are a lot of good
Hey man.
names and stuff like that. I've heard a lot of money on Caleb Williams. One of my dark horses that I'll probably put a few dollars on, man, is Trevor Lawrence.
Mm.
I feel like this, man. I feel like
Breakout
Trevor
season for
Lawrence is
Trevor.
inside of that division that he can get a lot of wins.
He
They
can.
already know him where like they kind of like him the same way that they like Josh Allen. So they want to go and give Trevor Lawrence a fucking MVP the same way that they want to do it, just for Joe Burrow because they like him.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I just feel like they do have the necessary pieces inside of that division just to go and just to break off maybe four straight wins or five straight wins. You still have to play divisional talent, so you never know what you're going to go and get. Even with a bad Titans team, you still you still really don't know, what you're going to go and get, with the Texans sometimes as well too. But for me, you're looking at the Colts inside of that division as well. I'm just like, hey, if they find a way to win that division, if Trevor
Hmm.
Lawrence finds a way to throw maybe 30 touchdowns, if his touchdown to interception ratio is maybe 3-1 or maybe 2.5-1, and they win the division and he has that ratio, I feel like Trevor Lawrence would be good money, man. You put a $20, bet down for him right now, and they find a way just to go and do it. Shit, you know what I mean? But you wouldn't be crazy to go and still just put that money on Lamar Jackson just because he's fucking great. You wouldn't be
Yeah.
crazy to put that money on Josh Allen. But for me, if I'm looking at dark horses inside of the regular season MVP race, I'm looking at Trevor Lawrence. Is there anybody
Okay.
on this list as a dark horse that you would look at for MVP?
I think me personally, bro, and I don't even know if I can kind of consider this like a dark horse, but I think the one that like may um may be up there, may win it this year, bro. I'm thinking Matthew Stafford. I think Matthew Stafford has the opportunity to win it, man. He has a lot of great talent on the offensive side, as we know. And now with him having, some added pieces to the defense, if the defense gets you the ball back, you know, if you have, more opportunities to score, that's gonna, ultimately build your stats. And I'm like, we talking about gunslinging Matthew Stafford. That motherfucker already like to throw that pill. So if you know if the defense gets a turnover, forces a fumble, gets an interception, the more turnovers that the defense gets, the more opportunities that Matthew Stafford has, and I feel like he's one of them players, especially that vet mentality that he has. Man, he's going to take advantage of that, and who knows what his numbers are going to be like, because let's just say, right, if during the game, Matthew Stafford might have averaged, just throwing a number out, 10 drives a game, 10 to 15, right? He has arguably one of the greatest players to ever lace up some football cleats on the opposite side of his team. So when Miles Garrett is getting those sacks, forcing those turnovers or whatever, that's going to be more opportunities for Matthew Stafford to have that ball in his hand. And especially with the weapons that he has, especially at wide receiver, I'm like, man, it might get crazy. So I feel like Matthew Stafford is one of those people that like just be on the lookout, man. I'm not sure what his odds are currently, but I feel like, you know, whatever his odds are, I know he's not, as we know, the top one. So you're gonna make some good money. I feel like if you bet on Matthew Stafford to win that MVP this season.
Now that was a great take. That was an awesome take, man. Because Matthew Stafford right now is 14-1 to win it all and stuff like that. But like you said,
Mm,
that turnover margin or just the amount of turnovers that the Rams will be able and have been able just to go and get with their defensive prowess has been really the difference. Where like, they don't have to go all the way down the field. They
Yep.
maybe only have to go 40 or something yards and stuff like that. And they have such a plethora of different receivers and different schemes and stuff like that. And I think one of the good things that I really love about this Rams offense, which is a lot different than like a lot of these other older quarterback style offense, is just the playbook. And like you see a lot of pre snap motions, man. And
Yep.
you only see that with like mobile quarterbacks, right? And you don't really see that with like in the pocket quarterbacks. Well, the Rams are a lot different where like they do like a lot of pre-snap motions. They always have somebody running across the field and stuff like that. They always trying to go up there and see, what type of coverage, that the defense is in naturally, but they take it to another level even with the personnel not being there. And, so
Hmm.
if the Rams had the same type of personnel that the Ravens have, I wouldn't be looking at the pre-snap motions um, with like any type of I guess it wouldn't confuse me, right? Just because
Right.
Lamar Jackson is a running quarterback, right? But the fact that you have a lot of pre-snap motions with a almost 40-year-old Matthew Stafford, and they're still able just to go and just drive that ball right down the field, and that only just highlights your point of just like, well, they're not starting at like their own 20. They're not starting at like their own 35. Most of the time, they're starting at like the
Right.
45. They're starting at like,
Right.
if they turn the ball over, they're starting inside of opponent's territory. So it's only just going to make Matthew Stafford even more deadly than he already is.
That's a fact, man. I'm looking forward to the season, man. Um, man, this situation just reminds me of this the Rams' last championship, man. They brought us some key pieces, defensive pieces, and they was like, forget them picks and won the championship off of it. And now they got some talent over there, boy. They over there. That GM is over there playing Madden. All them star names over there on that team, man. That's how it be when you a GM on Madden. You're like, oh damn, Matthew Stafford. All right, let me trade for him.
Fuck a salary cap.
Right, fuck it. I don't need that. Man, forget them picks. We good. Miles Garrett, send them over. Jalen Ramsey, send them over.
Yeah,
Devontae
man.
Adams, send them over.
Send him over.
Right. Man, whoever we want, we gonna get. That's what I'm realizing with the Rams. They got that type of money over there, man. Whoever that owner is, woo, he don't give a damn. Whoever he want. I'm surprised he ain't talk um damn Aaron Donald to come back.
I think he's going to come back too, man. And,
I wouldn't be
I feel
surprised.
bad for the people of St. Louis too, because
That
this was
is
your
a little
team.
phony. Yeah,
This was your team, right? And like they went somewhere else. They they was
man.
just like, you know what? In St. Louis, we acted like we was in St. Louis.
Right.
Once we got to LA, we acted like we
We
was
was
in
in
fucking
that
LA, right?
man, man.
Right?
That's two different bags, man. That St. Louis bag deep, but that LA bag, shit.
Still the Rams, right? Still the
Right.
Rams, still all of that. It's just all just to say that, like, hey, you know what? Like, they all have the same rules, right? Some teams really, really want it. Some teams really don't. And,
Yeah.
you see a team like the Ravens, they want it. And then you see a team like the Orioles, they do want it, but they don't want it the same way that the Ravens want it. And
Yep.
it shows, right?
Yep.
So it's just one of those things, man, where like, yeah, the Rams are going to be great. The Ravens are going to be great. So it's going to be really, really interesting just to see if they can just follow follow the trend, follow the road that's right there, because everybody has money on both
Yeah.
of them potentially meeting up in the Super Bowl. And if they both meet up in the Super Bowl, man,
Shit.
I feel
That'll
like
be
it's
a
going to
good
be
one.
anybody's game.
That'll be a good one. That would definitely be a good one.
Hell yeah. It's definitely gonna be a good one. But then, Big Dog, I know, man, we done touched on a lot of different topics and stuff like that, man. We didn't even really touching to baseball. We ain't even touching to college football, but we touched so much on basketball, on just what it should be, for these next few weeks of training camp. So I'm excited for the first week of football coming up. I believe this should be the last weekend without any type of football, since
Oh
the Hall of Fame
man,
game is coming up soon. So this will be one of the last
getting it started.
weekends without football.
Let's get it started. Let's get
Hell
it
yeah, man.
started, baby.
Let's get it started, big dog. But man, you my dog, man. I appreciate you, man. And yeah, man, do you have any last words, man, for the listeners?
No, man, we appreciate everybody who's who tuned into us, man. Make sure y'all follow us on us, wherever you get your streaming platforms, you know, make sure y'all tune in, like, subscribe, share, tell your mother's mother's mother, tell your cousin's cousin's cousin. Yeah, man, we appreciate it, man. We appreciate all the love, man. That's all I got.
Hey, look, go and tell your baby mamas, go and tell your baby mama's sister, go and tell everybody.
baby mamas.
tell your baby mama's grandmother's mother. Like, go
Right.
tell somebody.
Man, tell them subscribe, man. Tell them follow us.
Yeah, man. Go like, go subscribe to us, man. Oh yeah, man. Plus, since everything is coming up, with just this NFL season, I know coming up, we'll definitely have like a little fantasy football type of show and stuff like that. Tell you, who would be our first few picks, and what to look out for, and who will be your fantasy superstar this year. But it's always a pleasure, man, chopping it up, with my dog, man. Shout out to Lotus right now, man. Shout out just to Vegas and shit like that. So yeah, man, follow us on Instagram, man. We're on Apple, we're on Spotify, we're on all of those other streaming platforms. But appreciate you. Thank you locking in with us, and we shall get with you next episode.
Peace.
Peace.